What is going on, Gemini? It's Chris Anthony coming at you guys live and direct. This is going to be your reading for the second half of July. The 16th through the 31st is what it was supposed to be, Gemini, but your reading got deleted along with a lot of other signs yesterday around the lunar eclipse, full moon, Mercury retrograde season. Yeah. So I'm redoing this for you guys. This is actually the third spread that I did for Gemini. So yeah, I guess, everything happens for a reason. The universe must have wanted another message for you. All right, so we're going to be hopping in. This is a general reading. It may not resonate with everyone, but if it does resonate with you, do me a favor, like, share, subscribe, comment on the channel. If it does not resonate, you can check out your rising or moon sign or one of the previous readings for Gemini. Also, you guys should follow me on IG if you don't already. That's at Chris Anthony 14LBS, Chris Anthony 14 pounds. And I do have personal readings open to the public if you need a more personal experience with me. Let's do this, Gemini. Now we're going to be hopping into your present energy right here, your main storyline like we always do it. And then after that, we will hop over to your supporting details, futuristic energies right over here. All right, now crowning your reading, you have the Hangman clarified by the Chariot. So I'm kind of picking up that you guys have kind of been like in a place where you were kind of like a hung jury. You didn't have enough supporting details, you didn't have enough facts, you didn't have enough evidence to make a decision on a certain direction or movement that you've been thinking about making for a while, right? But you weren't maybe too sure about moving in this direction because, like I said, you didn't have enough evidence. So you wanted to deliver a verdict, right, to the courts, but you couldn't because there wasn't enough evidence, there wasn't enough details, enough proof in the pudding. So I feel like for a while, maybe surrounding this decision to move forward with something or with someone, depending on what it is for you, you just were kind of like slowing everything down and trying to get another perspective, trying to see things from a different point of view, right? Until you felt more confident and more sure about what it is that you want to do. Now, I do feel like that energy is changing surrounding this lunar eclipse, surrounding this Capricorn full moon. The second half of July is going to be some movement, right? So there is going to be some information that's coming in that's causing you to start to move forward in that direction that maybe you were only thinking about, or maybe you were indecisive about which direction you wanted to head in with something. The Chariot card is here talking about full speed ahead, full movement. Your mind is made up. Some type of information is coming in for you that's making your mind up for you, right? And this is major arcana. You have two major arcana. So if something was not moving forward, it was probably because the universe had put it on pause, right? It wasn't the right time. Things were not supposed to be moving at that time. But now with this Chariot card coming in, there is movement that's happening, ending out July, especially going into August when the retrograde season is going to be over with. Right? So this is a certain level of balance that you're kind of getting that's coming through, because the Chariot card a lot of times does talk about our subconscious and conscious mind being balanced out. It talks about our light and dark nature being integrated, right? The yin and the yang, the feminine and masculine principle being integrated as one. So before, it seems like you could have been double-minded about something, right? And you were kind of going back and forth, jumping over from the masculine to the feminine, but now I feel like there's not going to be as much internal struggle that's happening surrounding this decision that you've been trying to make for a while. And everything is going to come into oneness for you with this Chariot card, because it's the total opposite of the Hangman. The Hangman season seems like it's up for you. That's probably what was being eclipsed out for you with this lunar eclipse, this whole eclipse month of July. Right? And so maybe you had to wait until things were shifting around behind the scenes. You had to wait until everything was kind of being closed out. The older timelines were being collapsed. And now that everything is closed out, you can now move forward into this new cycle, this new era of life, because almost everyone is having a brand new cycle that's happening and beginning around these eclipses, I should say. So for the lunar eclipse, I feel like this is the last wrap up for you, and now you're going to be moving forward into a brand new cycle. Why do I say that? Because you have the Wheel of Fortune here. And the Wheel of Fortune is clarified by the Page of Wands, but the Wheel of Fortune is talking about a shift, right? That's happening. This is probably the shift in perspective that's coming in for you, but even majorly or more overall, is talking about a universal shift that's happening. A shift in consciousness is what I really am feeling for you, though. Gemini, so maybe more so than just a shift of a new cycle or a new era that's coming into your life. I feel more and so that it's like a shift of consciousness is happening for you, where you're kind of being shifted into a higher level of consciousness, or a higher level of viewing the world, a higher vibration, right? And I think I've been talking about this for you guys for a while now. I think month after month we've been talking about how your perspective was changing and your point of view was starting to change. You were starting to view things from a different vantage point. And this is kind of like the same thing that's happening with this shift happening, and it's also representing a new era that's happening, because everything in the old era has been completed, is what I'm feeling. It's been totally closed out. It has fallen away. Maybe a lot of older people that you've been dealing with, or a lot of older situations, environments, definitely a lot of older scenarios have been closed out of your life, because this is a karmic shift that's happening with the Wheel of Fortune. So you have new karmic, scenarios that'll be coming in for you, and all the older karmic lessons that you have had to learn maybe for a while now has come to a completion. Right now, what's going to be entering in for you is this Page of Wands type of energy. With the Page of Wands here, it's talking about new ideas, new passions that are coming in and being rekindled or being initiated, right? This talks about some type of catalyst that could be coming in for you. And this is probably the thing that's making you just move forward and kind of get some pep in your step and kind of come out of that hangman position. If you've been in the hangman mode and you've needed that deep meditative type of energy, you needed to kind of go all the way into yourself and look at things from a different point of view and study it and be hidden a little bit and beneath the surface, then that was good for that time. But now you get this catalyst that's kind of pushing you back up to the surface and pushing you out into action. So I feel like the second half of July is going to be very action orientated for you guys anyway. Even if it's not physical action, it's going to be a lot of mental energy that's coming up for you guys, Gemini, because Gemini, you guys can be very deep thinkers, but I feel like a lot of new ideas are coming in. If this is not coming in, if it's not a catalyst that's happening from the external world for you, then you're just getting some type of spark that's happening inside of your mind, right? Or inside of your soul, that's just kind of firing you up and making you really want to go into this next era with a new mindset, with a new consciousness, with new ideas that you want to put energy into. And I do feel like you're kind of letting go of some of the older ideas or older things that maybe did not work out for you in the past, older energies that definitely were not serving you, especially when it comes down to people and places, is what I'm picking up. And you want to kind of go into this new cycle, especially into the month of August. I'm feeling like the month of August is very important for you, especially with us being on the number 8 minutes in, plus I'm seeing the number 8 right here with the 8 of Pentacles. So I feel like in the month of August is going to be a brand new start for you guys, and you'd want to do everything in the month of July to close out this older cycle, because I feel like it's like a switch that's happening for you in August, where it's like a clean slate. The universe is giving you a brand new clean slate of energy to work with, a clean slate of perspective that's coming in. And I feel like you're going to be a lot freer to dream up your ideas, or to think up your brand new ideas and how you want to move forward. And this is the information that comes in that brings you out of that hung state, or takes you out of being in that hung jury, right? Where you now can make a decision and move forward quickly, because there's going to be some type of catalyst that comes in. Now this catalyst could very well be a fire sign that you're connecting with. It's possible, but I do feel like this is something that kind of like sparks inside of you, whether it's external or internal. Now we do have the 5 of Pentacles here clarified by the Judgment card. So for some of you guys, you could have felt like you were in a place of being left out in the cold, or being left all alone, or maybe you were kind of in hermit mode a little bit, or just not receiving the type of attention from maybe your circle or your family or your friends, or maybe from a loved one, right? Somebody that maybe you were in love with and you felt like they left you out in the cold. This could be covering anything. Now, I do feel there's a slight romantic vibe to this, because when I pulled out your other two spreads, Gemini, they were both love readings. So this could possibly be about love, but I do feel like this reading is more so about you. But love is involved. I feel like somebody could have left you out in the cold in the past, right? Where you just kind of felt like you had lost out, or you were done wrong in some type of way. But this did have a lot to do with a certain awakening that you needed. This was kind of like a rude awakening that happened for you, that kind of, I feel like, brought you out of a certain mindset, maybe surrounding love, maybe surrounding relationships, and it brought you into more of your destiny, because the Wheel of Fortune here is talking about shifts that are happening that's bringing you to your destiny, right? Bringing you more into your life path and your life's work. And this area, or this time that you had when you were left out in the cold, I feel like this kind of shifted you. It shifted your mindset in a certain type of way and made you have this spiritual awakening, right? That may still be taking place, but I do feel like around this lunar eclipse, it's almost like a completion of this spiritual awakening. And you're also having like a certain calling right now, where the universe is calling you to a certain position. And I definitely talked about this in previous readings for you guys, Gemini, but the calling is still here with this Judgment card, where you're being called to speak, you're being called to be an example, or you're being called to display something to the world, to your peers, to a certain audience that you're supposed to be connecting with. And this is maybe the reason why you felt left out in the cold for so long, especially when you're being groomed by the universe, when you're being elevated by the universe. You do go into a place of darkness, or a place of being alone, right? Where your energies are kind of being integrated, your energies are being cleared from all the old karma that can hold you back from being this person that you're supposed to be, that can hold you back from being on your life's path. So you could have felt like in this cycle you were definitely tucked away and hidden by the universe, which is why you were in this hangman position. But I do feel like the time of incubation is over now. The time of development for you guys is kind of ending, and you're coming out of the cold, you're coming out of the dark, you're coming from out of the place of being hid into the open, right? And you're coming with judgment, which means it's kind of like it's almost like the day of reckoning, right? It's happening for you. The trumpet is being blown now. You're coming from out of a certain type of slumber, out of a sleep, out of a metamorphosis, or your cocoon. And now it's time for you to awaken to what it is you're supposed to be moving forward in, what you're supposed to be doing. Because I do feel like this new cycle for you is going to be action orientated. All right, I want to show you guys what is under the deck for you. You have the Eight of Wands under the deck for the main deck, and then you have the Eight of Wands again for the clarifier. So this is talking about the energy that's coming in. It's going to be a lot of communication that's coming into you, and it may be universally, like I said, so you may receive it on a more internal type of role, where you're getting these sparks, these ideas, these intuitive hunches that's pushing you or pulling you to go in a certain direction. But there's a lot of communication coming in on this second half of July. If it's coming from an external place, then like I said, it could be from a person that wants to come in and communicate with you. But there's going to be communication that's bringing you from feeling like you were out in the cold, or you were all alone, or you were not, receiving any attention from anybody. And I do strongly feel like it has to do with your awakening, with another level of awakening for you guys. All right, Gemini, let's keep it moving. So then we have the Eight of Swords here, and it's clarified by the Ten of Wands. And because you were in this hangman position, or like I said, you were in this Five of Pentacles, kind of being tucked away in incubation inside of a cocoon, you could have felt like you were stuck a little bit, stuck inside of your mind, or just stuck inside of your situation, where you felt like it was no movement happening, right? It was no maybe level of self-expression. I feel like you kind of felt like you had to, yeah, I'm getting for some of you guys, you didn't have a certain level of self-expression that you've been wanting to express for a while, but you felt like you were stuck inside of your mind, or because you didn't have enough information about what it is that you wanted to express, you felt like you couldn't do it. And I really got that strongly for somebody. Like, you have been kind of putting restrictions on the way you want to express yourself, whether that is creatively or intellectually, or whether it has to do with business or your career or job. It feels like you've been restricting yourself, and it's due to the way that you've been kind of thinking. With the Eight of Swords here, this is all mentality that you've been having for a while, and this does have to do with the last cycle you were in, because it's the Ten of Wands here, talking about a karmic cycle, which this whole phase of your life is definitely being completed, but there was a certain type of energy that I'm feeling where you just restricted yourself, or kept yourself kind of like to a tight regiment, or a tight schedule, or just a tight energy. I feel that, and maybe it could have been needed for a certain time, because like I said, you guys have been in incubation, been in development. It's been a major transformation and awakening that's been happening with the Gemini energy. But I do feel like you're ending this type of close quarter, tight, restrictive type of energy, because you have the Chariot card here, and now you're coming out of that energy, and you're going to have a lot more freedom of movement and freedom of expression that's happening. Definitely, you already will feel the effects of it in the second half of July, where you just want to express yourself. I feel for some of you guys, the third, not the third, but the actual fifth chakra, right? Your throat chakra is being activated right now, and it's kind of bringing you out of a place of restrictive communication. So your communication is about to open up for a lot of you guys, because it's something that you need to express. It's something that you need to express to the collective, or to a certain audience, or to your community, or to your family, or maybe to someone in love. But I am feeling like there's been a certain place where your throat chakra was restricted for some of you Geminis. In the communication area, definitely. But there's a release that's happening, that there's a healing that's happening, and a certain type of activation that you should be feeling around this lunar eclipse for the next couple of weeks, especially going into August. Alright, because you've completed a certain aspect of yourself when it comes down to the way you used to communicate. There's an older communication style that you guys have been, I feel like, stuck on for a while, when it comes down to maybe the way you communicate, socialize, express yourself. But now there is a newer way of communication that's coming in for you guys, and I don't know exactly what it is specifically. I think that's what you're going to be feeling intuitively for whoever you are. It could apply differently for everyone, but I feel like your communication and the way that you're wanting to express yourself to people just out in the public or in your everyday life, it's just the style of it is changing. This could be due to an upgrade of emotional intelligence that has come in for you guys with this Judgment card, right? Where, especially if you're more connected to your calling, more connected to your life's path and your life's work, this is causing you to change the way you're communicating. So you'll see. I do feel the throat chakra is being activated, right? So you could start to carry more power within your voice, or more range in your voice, more activating energies inside of your voice. Some of you guys are definitely in some type of voice career, or that's what your life's path is about. It's about speaking to people and communicating with people. Geminis are excellent communicators, by the way. So if there has been something that has been keeping your expression or the way that you voice your opinion or voice, your point of view kind of bound a little bit, there's a total release coming in for that. And you're going to be wanting to express everything that you feel. The flow of your creative energy is coming up through your voice. The flow of your kundalini energy is about to be coming out through your voice. And I did just feel kundalini looking right here at this world card. This is what's shifting for you. Yeah, that's all right there. Now we're coming up on the Empress card, and it's clarified by the Eight of Pentacles. So yeah, Eight of Pentacles here, definitely talking about what you want to do for your life's work, what it is that you feel your purpose is in this life, how you want to express yourself, how do you want to bring healing to the world, or knowledge to the world, or creativity, or whatever it is that you want to bring to the universe and to the world. You're actually going to be doing this now, right? You're coming into this Empress energy where she's all about fertility, creativity, artistic abilities, right? She's talking about her spirituality. She's an attractive force. She's a magnet. She's also very nurturing, right? So all those different categories is what's kind of being activated in you guys to make you move forward into your path. And you guys could have already been on your path and your purpose, right? But you're just continuing to focus energy into this, right? And you're coming in as the Empress, which she does it very easily, right? She does it, it's almost like things just flow with her. So if there's been a certain area of your life that hasn't been free flowing, like I said, with that throat chakra, your voice, your expression, if you've been having struggles with it, then this is all being turned around, right? This is all being opened up by the Empress. And you're coming through very confident. You're coming through very full forced. And it's probably because you've made a certain decision, right? That you've been hung on for a while. And now you're not going back and forth in your head anymore. It's just like full speed ahead. Let's go. This is what I'm doing. This is what it's going to be. This is how I'm going to do it. It's here. Because everything here is talking about a major shift of consciousness that comes in. And now you're coming out very confident, displaying your skills and abilities, voicing your opinion, voicing, right, the energy that you're supposed to be carrying for the collective. And you're going to work. Eight of Pentacles. So yeah. Look forward to this, Gemini. Let's go into your future energy and see what's going on. You have the Four of Swords, the Ten of Pentacles, the Queen of Swords, and then the Lovers. Now, the Lovers popped out in all three of your spreads that I did, the Lovers energy. So, yeah, there could be some type of love happening for you guys. Or, like I said, a major decision. So, let's go. Four of Swords energy clarified by the Two of Wands. So, this could be talking about that place that you've been in where you've been rejuvenating, resting, developing, incubating, tucked away, just really making your mind up about a certain decision you wanted to make or a certain direction that you're heading in. Now it's kind of like I keep saying, the resting time is up. The time for development is over. You're ready, even if you think you're not, and you're about to be walking through this portal into this new path, this new direction that you've already made a decision on, but you maybe wasn't putting a lot of action into it, because the Two of Wands does represent that, when we've made a decision to head in a certain direction, but we just haven't moved on it yet. So in July, you could still be just, thinking about it, because it is Mercury retrograde. I usually say, you really don't want to start anything during Mercury retrograde, because everything is cloudy, everything is moving backwards, a lot of struggles in technology like I've been having. So I think this could be the place that you're in, where you're thinking about the direction you want to head in, and you're about to be launching it maybe in August, right? That's a good time to launch something new if it's brand new. But you have made your mind up, and now you're thinking about the logistics, right? You're thinking about the details, how everything is going to come together. But I will say, in this energy, you're not overthinking it, because this is not the Eight of Swords type of energy where you overthink it and it keeps you stuck. That's where you've been at. Now you're at a place where it's no anxiety behind it, right? It's like you've released the anxiety, you release the overthinking, and now you're just allowing yourself to go with the flow into this new direction. And maybe you're resting up before this launch. All right, so then we have the 10 of Pentacles clarified by the 7 of Swords. So that's kind of a crazy combination of cards. 10 of Pentacles here talking about your future, right? Your vision for your future materially, right? Like, how much money do you want to have? What kind of car do you want to drive? What house do you want to be in? Where do you want to live at specifically? What type of relationship do you want to have? Like, what type of future for your children do you see? Or, you know, what type of environment do you want to live in? What do you want to build for yourself? This is what I usually say the 10 of Pentacles represents your vision board, right? So I feel like you are kind of revamping your vision board, or you're putting more details onto your vision, the blueprint of where you're headed. And you are kind of doing this behind the scenes with the 7 of Swords. When it's matching up with a card like this, the 10 of Pentacles, which is a great card, which talks about abundance coming in, right? Material wealth coming in for you. I see the 7 of Swords as something that you're kind of doing behind the scenes, right? You're not letting everybody know what it is that you're doing and how you're moving into your future and what type of moves you're making, because there is a major move that you're about to make with this Chariot card, with the Wheel of Fortune, with the Judgment card, right? This all talks about major moves that are happening. So if you are making a major move in your life and you're moving toward a certain vision that you see for your life, that you see for your future, right now you're not wanting to let everybody know about it. You know, maybe the people that are surrounding you, you may not want to give them details of what it is that you're doing, because you would rather just get it done and not talk about it. You want to be about it and not talk about it, right? And I love people like that who, you know, don't talk about what they're going to do. They just do it. Like, show me what you're going to do. Don't tell me about it. And this is kind of the energy that you're feeling right now. You don't want to tell anybody what's happening. You just want to do it and let people see what's happening. And I like that, Gemini. Goodness. All right, then we have the King of Swords energy. I mean, what am I talking about? The Queen of Swords, clarified by the 4 of Wands. So you are moving forward stealthy and very direct with this Queen of Sword energy. And you're moving towards stability, right? You're moving towards a place of being very stable, a solid foundation that you want to build on. Now that I feel like you know what direction you want to head in, and you know where you want to commit your life, right? I feel like this is like a commitment that you're wanting to commit to. And it's something that you have laser beam focused on, and you're just like, this is what I want to do. This is the direction I want to head in. I made up my mind. I've thought about it long enough. I've been in a hangman position long enough, right? I've restricted myself and thought, you know, smaller of myself up until this point, and now you just want to move forward into your destiny, into your calling, right? And you want to build on this. I see so many cards here that are talking about building and a stable foundation and your vision for your future. And so with this Queen of Sword energy, you are going to be very emotionally detached when it comes down to anything that is here to distract you from moving forward into this 4 of Wands stable connection, either a stable connection with somebody or a stable foundation for your life. And you don't see anything that's on the side of you. As you can see, this Queen of Swords is looking directly towards her future. So anybody that's coming in to distract you, anybody that's trying to get you off course, off path, or if their energy just doesn't resonate with your energy and where you are, you're going to be cutting them out. Unfortunately, the eclipse is here and some people will have to be cut out, right? Or you're just going to be very cold with them and detached, and it's really no hard feelings. It's where you are. You're at a level of focus that you just don't have time for anything else. You want to build. You want to go, right? You want this certain stable foundation, and you want to leave a legacy in some type of way. That's what the Queen of Swords is about, leaving a legacy, communicating and expressing what it is that she holds within. The Queen of Swords is also a very great communicator, because she communicates directly. So I think some of you guys do have a message that you want to get out, and you're going to be speaking it very directly. Not beating around the bush. It's not going to be hidden, a hidden message. The Queen of Swords is straight up. Alright, and then below that we have the Lover's card clarified by the Ace of Wands. So with this, I do feel like you've made a certain decision and you've chosen to leave the traditional classical way of living, right, for something that has to do with your own philosophy in life. I feel like you're following your heart, Gemini, and you want to follow your heart into this brand new beginning, this brand new path, and you are very motivated about what it is that you want to do moving forward, because there was a decision to be made with this Lover's card, right? And I think you chose yourself, right, instead of choosing like man-made rules, laws, and regulations. Not saying that you're going to go out and break the law, but I'm speaking in terms of you know, the everyday generalizations that they give, you know, to us, that you're supposed to be doing this and your life is supposed to look this way and you're supposed to work here for 30 years and then retire and everything's supposed to look like, you know, it's kind of like you're carving your own path. You're going to be pioneering something in a certain type of way is what I'm feeling, Gemini, and you're very fired up about this because now you've made the decision with this Lover's card to go in a certain direction. Now for some of you guys, this could be talking about some love that is coming in, and you could be connecting with a fire sign, and you could have a very strong spiritual connection with this person, right, in the second half of July going into August. And something could be rekindling, or this could be like a fiery connection that you have with somebody, a very attractive person where they're attracted to you, you're attracted to them, and you could be teaming up with someone to go into this next phase of your life. I don't want to leave that out because, like I said, your other two spreads was nothing about, I mean, it was all about love, to be honest. Had a lot of Two of Cup energy. You had the Six of Cups spread. So I don't want to leave that out, even though this whole thing was about you. Moving into the forward, you will have some love that's coming in for you guys. You are going to be connecting with a certain counterpart. I feel like it's a divine counterpart, and you're bringing your energy to the table, they're bringing theirs, and it's kind of like that yin and yang connection that's coming in. And it is going to be a new beginning. If it is somebody from the past, you know, it could be a new beginning, but I am feeling this could be somebody that's new that's coming in too, and you guys are going to be fired up about each other. Like passionate, Ace of Wands, nothing but passion. Strong, passionate connection, and passionate sex too is what I'm feeling. Because this is kind of like a meeting of the minds that's happening. A lot of you guys, I feel like, are sapiosexuals, and it's something about this new person that could be coming in that is, I feel, is a fire sign. It could be any sign, but I keep feeling fire sign. But they are igniting something about your mind and turning you on intellectually. And you do the same thing for them. And so it's kind of like this is where the passion comes from. And then you guys just want to connect on a physical level after you connected on a mental level. So yes, that's also happening in your future. It may be in the month of August, or you could have already met this person in July, but something is being turned on like a switch. There's a catalyst that's happening around love and around your life moving forward. So I'm going to wrap it up right there for you guys, Gemini. Hopefully that resonated with you. Like always, if it did resonate, like, share, subscribe, comment, and I will see you guys in August.